Right, I still can't get my camera to work, so I'm gonna have to get a new one, which is pretty annoying. So in the meantime, I want to do a bit of track planning. I have a sheet of plyboard in the garage that is the perfect size in my mind for a shunting layout. It is 70 inches by 11 inches, so I want to use this track plan here just to design something. I got a rough idea of what I want in my head, but I just want to lay something out and work out what pieces I need to go get eventually, just so I can go make it. So what's my actual idea for this layout? I want it to be a shunting layout for a station. It's not going to be the station itself, it's going to be the yard for the station, but what I was thinking is maybe a couple carriage signs here, a couple good signs here, and they run into one line here, give us the fiddle yard. I want to use cassettes in the fiddle yard just so I can easily swap stock over without too much hassle. I think for the cassettes, I'm not really sure if I want to do. I don't know if I want to do this style of cassette here, where it's two pieces of metal on either side, or if I want to do something more like this guy here, where the track is actually part of the cassette instead of using aluminium corner pieces. If I were to do this, I'd probably pad the sides just so when I'm grabbing stock it doesn't get bounced about. But I'm kind of tempted to do this instead because I'm used to working with wood, so this is more my forte. So back to the track planner. I roughly know how big I want my fiddle yard. I want it to be about 800-ish mil. I want it to be the length of two BR Mark 1s and a J50 tank engine, and then just a little bit of play. So it'd take us to about here-ish, I think. A big thing is I don't want any of my points to be going over this line here, because this is the halfway mark, and it'll be two sections of board, because I want it to fit in the back of the car nice and easily. So I guess the easiest thing to do is just start laying some track. We'll have two Pico double straights in here, then I'll put a normal one at the end here, and that gets us to about the 800 mil mark, which really doesn't give us much space back here for the shunting. We'll see how it goes. We'll have an R2 half curve, just so there's a little bit of curvature on the layout. I kind of want to leave this little section here as all like scenic stuff. Well, it's not going to be interesting. It's going to be like retaining walls and then a bit of a village. I don't know. I haven't really worked it out in my head yet, but we'll just go with the vibe. Do I need a left? No, I need a right. I don't like how that half one's looking, so let's get a standard. That being said, I could just work this curve into the fiddle yard instead. I'm happy with that. It's not, the points aren't touching the halfway line, so I'm happy to go with that. I was sort of thinking about having another line come back here and sort of stop in front of the station, and then do like an engine shed, a coal store and a water tower sort of thing, just as a sort of like refueling part for the station pilot. I have no real region or inspiration, if that makes sense, for this. It's just sort of a generic station that can be any region, anytime sort of thing. Granted, yeah, the coal store and the water tower will date it a bit, but I can easily just pull those off for diesels. If I grab another set of each, I think a radius 2 might be a bit big here, so I'll try my luck with a radius 1. If it doesn't work out with it, I can always just swap it. I'm also going to swap this one at the bottom because I think that might be restricting a bit of the space I can get away with as well. In all fairness, I don't think any wagons are really going to complain much about the R1. I'm a little scared about the coaches on the R1, but I'm more scared about couplings and buffers locking together with those. But I don't think it'll be a major deal, so I'll try my luck. I think I'll have a slight curve here, just so it's a little different to the rest of it. I think this is going to be the track plan I go with. Obviously, you know, when I build the entire thing, these little gaps here won't be there. They'll just go straight to the back. I'm not too bothered about these two pieces here. They can be literally anything, and I might pull this forwards a bit. Or then again, I don't necessarily need to have that. I don't need to cut it on the halfway line. I could have the two boards like here. Actually, yeah, I think I might do that instead. I think I'll pull all this forward slightly and just trim a little bit off the fiddle yard, just so I can have a little bit more playback here. Because worst case scenario, I can always just do a little extension board that sort of like bolts in. So say how this track's overhanging here, I'll literally have a piece of wood that comes out here, loops around here, and just goes into here, just to strengthen this little bit here. So I think I'll do that instead, but you know, not a massive difference has really been made. I'll just cut it like here. I'll cut the board here instead. I don't know how I'll go cutting this curve, but as long as the two bits of track line up, I'm not 100% bothered. Again, I'm gonna pull all the straights all the way back. I can just hold it. I want to have a good play around with this at a later date. I think this is gonna be the track plan I go with these little bits here where they're extending over the board. I'll cut off. These won't exist. I think I'll do a little cradle or something there just to hold that little bit of track up. It's not that big of a deal. That's a really easy thing to work around. But the main thing I wanted to do is just make sure none of these points here are actually going to be on one of these here. On the carriage signs, I want to be able to fit at least 2 BR Mark 1s, and one of these doubles here is about 330 mil. So I don't know, what's that? Half a one. That takes us up to 145, and that, I don't know what the length of the curve is, but it'll probably be enough. That one will definitely be enough. Again, these are just going to be like for wagons and stuff, so I'm not too bothered. I'm not going to have loads and loads and loads of wagons on the layout at one time. The big thing is there enough space in this fiddle yard for a short little train to go into, and can it fit the 2 BR Mark 1s plus an engine? And if the answer is yes to all those, I am happy. Something else that I need to work out is where am I going to have my uncoupling ramps? I know you can buy some pre-made, but I don't think they look that good, and I'd rather sort of do this thing where it's between the sleepers, and as it rises, the 2 sleepers are sort of fixed to a plate that rise, and then uncouple it. I'm going to use the normal tension lock couplings because I don't really want to go out and buy loads of new couplings, but I think this is going to be the track plan I go with. So yeah, small things I'd like to see if I can change, but kind of doubt, is I was sort of hoping for a bit more of a gap back here, but it is what it is. I would have liked to have a little bit of a gap here, but again, there's nothing I really can do. The main thing is I'm really liking how these 2 bits are straight back to back. I have a nice little good shed that I'm going to put on the layout, so I think that'll look nice around this corner. And I want to make a carriage shed. I want to make a carriage shed sort of similar to the sort that you'd see like Thomas or something, where it's a very basic rundown shed. It's just like corrugated steel either side. It's literally the bare minimum of what you'd call a shed. So I really like that sort of dilapidated look. It's in my head and I really like it. Again, I'll have an engine shed down here, refueling facilities for a basic little like shunting layout that fits in the back of my car. I like it. I really do like it. I can't wait to actually build it. I'm gonna need to learn how to do point motors, and I'm gonna need to learn how to make my own uncoupling ramps. That is gonna be for a later date. The main thing I'm thinking is just sort of have the uncoupling ramps, I don't know, about here, here, and here, but that's more going to be using the layout and just trying to work out where it needs it and where it doesn't. The bit I'm most excited for is this station here. I think it'll look very different from what you usually see when people try to hide a fiddle yard. I really like the idea as well of just having an engine in here somewhere, just a static one. It never needs to leave it, but just having a static loco in there and a smoke machine underneath pumping out steam just to give the illusion of it just idling, waiting for something to happen. I really like that idea in my head. I'll probably do a lot of this with flexi track if I'm being honest. I have set track, I have a fair bit of set track, but the main thing I need to get at the moment is just these points. The nice thing is I only need 2 of each, so that won't be too bad. That's all I really have this week. I just wanted to show off me messing about with a track plan and just want to say, hey, this is a layout I want to build. I'd like to hear suggestions on like improvements and possible changes that could be done. You know, I'm all up for hearing stuff like that. But that's all I got for you this week. It's just me ranting about a track plan for a layout that I haven't built yet. Well, that's all I got for you this week. I upload every single Saturday. And if you enjoyed, feel free to come back next week. And bye-bye now.